Hello, beautiful people. The end of the year's arrived, but the good titles haven't stopped coming in. If you're anything like me, your backlog's gotten big enough to rent a room in your apartment. And I apologize, but it's about to get bigger before the year even ends. But before that, hey, my name's Wolfman Dan. I talk about indies, and if you enjoy them, why not subscribe? You won't be disappointed. Now, let's sit back, open up Steam, and start wishlisting. Santa's Hitlist, CEO Edition. I have to start this list off with some Christmas cheer. And what's more cheerful than a pump-action shotgun? Play as Santa, who's armed with a vast arsenal of weapons and has one goal in mind. Take down all the terrible CEOs who are making the children sad and spread some jolly time cheer. Made by Unlucky Studios, this incredibly weird-looking roguelite is all fast-paced action and taking back power for the people. This is kind of like Postal Santa, but if you looked completely deranged and had been sniffing lines between dropping off gifts. Perfect stocking stuffer to play as a double feature next to Die Hard, or another Christmas game. Maybe Cultic Chapter 2. Yeah, it's set during Christmas. Sleep Awake. In the last known city on Earth, people are disappearing in their sleep. Those who remain exist in constant fear of a man in a red and green sweater, who they say stalks you in your dreams. I kinda wish, but Sleep Awake is the closest we'll get to a Nightmare on Elm Street game. An immersive audio-visual experience where the line between reality and dreams are not only blurred, but rammed into each other to destroy the concept of perception. Run around a dystopian world, avoiding death cults, and trying everything in your power to stay awake. From the power team of Corey Davis, who directed the soul-shattering Spec Ops: The Line, and Robin Fink, who scored the Ghost of Mars soundtrack. Yeah, that's the definition of a dream team here. So expect an unforgettable experience. Kingdom of Night. Some of us might be a bit tired of 80s nostalgia, but we aren't tired of good action RPGs. Kingdom of Night is about hunting down demons in a small town during the height of neon fashion and Cold War era terror. Symbolism, I assume. Explore an open, interconnected map as you complete open-ended quests, all while trying to unravel the story of how to get these darn demons out of town. Pick a class from Barbarian, Knight, Sorcerer, and Necromancer. All very memorable 80s film characters. And deck out your skill tree as you level up and shape your character however you want. You can mix and match various branches and make a unique build for demon slaying. If you have a friend, then maybe get them to join in co-op as you spend the night slaying demons while listening to your worn out tape of Wham. Routine. A first-person sci-fi horror set on an abandoned lunar base. Well, not abandoned anymore. This game was first announced in 2012, but due to various developmental roadblocks, it's been delayed many times until now. You'll roam through the base trying to find either survivors, clues, and then try to piece them all together to see what events led to the decline of the base. The game is all about atmosphere, with a minimal UI, strong audio design, with the sound of the base being the only thing reminding you that you're still alive. Use your Cosmonaut Assistance Tool, or CAT, meow. Why did I do that? Use your cat to access terminals, help you navigate the base, and identify clues, or in worst case scenario, defend yourself. There are rogue robots roaming randomly around the base. Only on this channel, you'll randomly say alliteration in the game description. Please, subscribe. The game has all the atmosphere and scares of Alien Isolation, but with its own twists on the genre. The game is anything but routine. Yeah, I went there. Angeline Era. Bump the world. I have to give the game props for an iconic catchphrase. An early East-style fantasy RPG where you explore a large world map, entering new zones that require puzzle solving and iconic bumping to complete. Played the demo and really enjoyed the weird PSX era graphics and fun exploration mixed with puzzle solving. This is from the same devs of the Anodyne duology, something of a little indie darling series. Melos Hantani and Marina Kitaka. I hope I'm saying those names right. Expect about 20 to 30 hours of gameplay depending on how you explore this giant world, and with a ton of bosses and unique levels to take on, this might be the perfect game to sit down over Christmas break and just enjoy while binging some Hallmark Christmas movies on the second monitor. Skate Story. Skating while made of glass is the kind of danger you'd expect from a Jackass sketch, not a slow and methodical journey through the underworld. You're a demon made of glass and pain, and have one impossible goal in mind. Skate to the moon and swallow it. Might take a few bites, but it's doable. One of the most visually arresting experiences of the year, Skate's story is an audiovisual treat. Played the demo and enjoyed the smooth controls, great atmosphere, and just completely unhinged story. How many games ask you to complete philosophical tasks for the head of Play-Doh to progress further in hell? You start with only a few tricks but can quickly learn more moves to progress and use against enemies and bosses. Yes, there are bosses. You can also unlock new gear and decks to help improve your skills and sweet drip. If you've played any skateboarding game before then, you should feel right at home with this title. While at a first glance it might seem a more contemplative experience, it's a lot of fast-paced fun and will have you sweating glass. Damn, that sounds painful. Streets of Rogue 2. Now, we don't have exact confirmation that this is coming out in December, but a man can dream. The sequel to the amazing immersive sandbox RPG. Pick a class from scientist, hacker, thief, wrestler, or even gorilla. Just stay away from zoos. Then jump into a randomly generated world where you can start fights, sneak, steal, or talk your way to the top. Embrace complete freedom, play however you want, akin to games like Caves of Quid, Kenshi, or Terraria. The only thing standing between you and fun is your imagination. And having a day job. The game offers so much more than the first, a much bigger world and more NPCs to talk to, kill, or just rob blind. And if you lack the imagination for creating pure disaster, then grab a friend and start a co-op session as you both run wild in the town and go crazy in whatever vehicle you can get your hands on. Just make sure you have a license for that bear. A great time for those who enjoy their own nonsense and unbridled chaos. The Temple of Elemental Evil. One of the many remasters or re-releases that came out this year on Steam. And while the Neverwinter Nights 2 release was a bit disappointing, Sacred 2 as well, very few people have access to or even played Temple of Elemental Evil. A party-based RPG from Troika, the devs of the amazing Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, or even more underrated Arcanum. Temple of Elemental Evil takes place in the lesser-known Greyhawk Dungeons & Dragons module, where you explore a temple that once housed the cult, but has long been abandoned. Sounds like catnip for adventurers. Build your party and choose from various classes that can be customized as they level up and take on a wide variety of monsters as you venture deeper into the temple. The original version had a lot of bugs, but an active modding community, so it'll be interesting to see if this releases in a fantastic state for modern computers. Just keep your eyes on this one if you're looking for some old school dungeon crawling, and maybe missed out on this title years ago. Fingers crossed I get a key to talk about this. RuneQuest Warlords. Turn-based strategy game set in the RuneQuest universe from Virtuous, a company mostly known for ports and some outsourcing work. So they at least have experience? To be honest, I've never even heard of the RuneQuest universe. I kept reading it as RuneScape. Engage in a range of tactical turn-based battles, whether you're taking on the story mode or multiplayer. In battles, you fight over zones of control as you're forced to either defend or push the offensive and take away the zones from the opposing army. It's kind of like larger scale Heroes of Might and Magic, but will also take a lot of planning to get your troops in the right position and hold them down. You can choose between 3 factions, from the Talistar, Chaos, no, not that one, and the Lunar Empire, each offering diverse units and strategies to make sure you find your dream team. Strategy fans should check out this rich fantasy world accompanied by intensive strategic decision making. Check it out if you're burned out on Total War Warhammer. Maybe learn some more about the RuneQuest universe. Unbeatable. This has been moved back a few times, and the last time was because the game literally became unbeatable. Which, if not a marketing stunt, is just God working in the game's favor. A rhythm adventure where music is illegal and Beat is on the run with her band. The rhythm gameplay section is simple to understand, but hard to master. You only use 2 buttons, up and down, but you better crack those arms before you take on some of the harder challenges. The game has 2 modes of play, story and arcade. Story mode has a town to explore, characters to interact with, and help out if you want, all culminating in massive set pieces where everything is at stake. The game has some amazing production style with the visuals and music. The animated intro alone gets me really excited. This is for rhythm fans who want more than just a fun time, but also some narrative substance. Also brutal difficulty. I know rhythm fans love that. Wild Growth. A short incremental fantasy clicker with minimalist graphics and an interesting take on the genre. You're the healer of the party, and it's important for you to make sure everyone stays alive. A dead warband is a dead warband. No positives there. Recruit new members to your party as you unlock mages, tanks, or the ever-lovable rogue. Even if you lose, you can upgrade your powers in the upgrade tree, which in itself is an exploration as you try to find out what's behind the branches you unlock. It's meant as a short experience, but you'll enjoy just unlocking new skills and classes as you progress further in the dungeon. An intense clicker game where your skills and wrist will be put to the test. Cat Named Mojave. Ending on the strangest game I could find, and one that's incredibly intriguing. Cat Named Mojave from Stargazer Studios is really weird. You're stranded in a desert, and your only hope is a cat man who's very odd. He offers to help you fix your car, but at a small price. He wants animal trophies. That's not too bad. Unless the creatures he wants you to hunt down seem a little more sophisticated than your average deer, and look strangely human. But because you never want to set out a good deal, you'll need to hunt them down, skin them, chop them up, and offer the pieces to the Catman. The question is, how far are you willing to go to leave? A very weird, darkly comedic game about choices, and how cats are just waiting to tempt you towards evil. There we go. Another great list of games to look forward to and put on everyone's radar. This being the last of the series for 2025, I hope you all have been enjoying the videos. I really love making them, and hearing from all of you about what games I've put on your radar puts a smile on my face. Let me know if anything in this list has caught your attention, and thank you for watching. I hope you have a great time gaming, and until next time, goodbye.